Um, because I've been discriminated against because I came down with an illness called bipolar, and there's very intelligent people that understand it, and there's people that are just stupid, just really stupid and mean, and can say ugly and hurtful and gossipy things that are just mean when you wouldn't do that. You're not allowed to do that to retarded people anymore. They call them intellectually disabled, so you don't make fun of them. Um, so in my family, I'm not going to talk bad, but they're pretty racist. And I grew up hearing pretty racist remarks about black people. It's just mean. I mean, now that I'm actually around black people a lot because I live in the city, I'm like, they are so exotic and they're so beautiful and they all look different. You can tell they have they have Native American mixed in. They not much, and they have white, a lot of white in their genetics. And even if they don't, they just they astound me with how beautiful they are. And I don't think that they realize that. I think because of the society we live in, you want to be white. I mean, it gears you to being white instead, like, the way they fix their hair and things like that. And I don't do, like, I don't think I have direct African genes in my close relations. I mean, we were from Africa, and then we moved up and lived in Greece, and then we moved to Northern Europe. Probably because of slavery, because the Romans came in, from what I can trace in my ancestry. And I think we lived out in the country, so we didn't succumb to the plague. Probably neighbors with Bowers, what I would say. I always thought Kent and I were like cousins and used to play with each other back in the 1400s. But and in Europe, people stayed inside a lot. They didn't go out because the weather wasn't good, so we didn't get the dark skin. Um, I really want an emphasis in our society on the beauty of the individual and clothing lines to accentuate the beauty of African Americans. And a lot of them are fuller figure, fertility figures, really. Back in the days of the famine, when there wasn't food, if you had a big physique, you were beautiful. That's what they look for, health with a little bit of figure. Not that all, I mean, some of them are very athletic and tall and thin. Um, just like, the white people. My grandmommy was beautiful, and she had a full figure. And my girls are beautiful. My girls, Hillary and Morgan, are both pretty full figure. Um, yeah, I think guiding the fashion industry to make because we are going to stop this racism and we're going to get them out of poverty. The big kicker is when they got put in segregation and then they still live in those housings isolated and somehow there's a separation. Well, they're bad black people. No, they've been separated. They're isolated. They haven't had the integration that some of the black people have had, especially from the north and stuff. I mean, Michelle Obama, she's black. She went to Harvard. Not every white person is geared to go to Harvard. So, to me, the intelligence is just similar. It's like people are good at different things, and if you look at a low IQ as a bad thing, then, I guess we won't have so many brick walls built or, cement laid and people that are willing to do the types of work and not mind it so much. Just because you have a higher intelligence doesn't necessarily mean you're any richer or you're any healthier or you're any happier. That is not a guarantee of very high intelligence. But I do think agape love, which should be practiced by everybody. I don't care what religion you are. Religion doesn't do that much for it because they say give some money to the church and it'll be taken care of. But I think in an individual approach of each human and meeting each other and talking to each other without a big production and that way if you're a kin and you're aware of it, you're like, well, what can we do to make it better? Because when we help the lowest human population, education level, money level, And we have enough in the United States for everyone to thrive and survive. And it's not a Marxist philosophy at all. And I do believe awesome, beautiful, creative, delightful, and fantastic. But they know fantastic means that they're not good at it. So it's not really taking away the grading system. It's just a positive encouragement to keep coming back. You're not going to do really horrible at I don't know what mathematics is the catch-all, but maybe you're not a good drawer, and so you're fantastic, and then you laugh about it and you say, "Yeah, but I'm good at English. I'm good at that." But I think failure sounds like a dead end, and we don't want that. We don't want the dead end to be like, "Don't come back because you're a failure at school." Well, some people are, and my son doesn't like to read, but put him in music class and let him write some songs. So our schools have to open up the creativity to have happier, if we're going to move into the next century with more creativity and a happier world like we're supposed to, because each year, I mean, we don't have polio, syphilis has been eradicated. We do have female birth control, and we're working on male birth control. So I'm just partaking in trying to make the next generation a little bit better than how we left it. And we have we have to work on our disposal of trash, and that has to be, you can't have 7 billion people on the earth just throwing stuff in the ground. I mean, you got to figure something else out, people.